Well, I keep saying reboots, reboots, reboots. They do not work. All these broadcast companies, these streaming sites, Hollywood, they continue to reboot all these older TV shows and movies. It just doesn't work. Why don't they work? Well, it's because of the way Hollywood is these days on there. You know, you have especially the teenage dramas that are out these days. They're just the same repetitive TV shows, one after another, and what's in them? Just the politics of the day, the equity, inclusion, everything from the playbook that they just want to throw in there, and not reflecting the true teenage problems that are happening today. So I'm going to pour you a bit of a refreshing drink today to refresh your minds and to show you, hey, why Saved by the Bell just got canceled this past week. 'Cause I'm saved by the bell. You know, when I was younger, in my teen years and all that, we had some great shows. I mean, we had, a lot of them. Some of them were good, some of them were bad. I grew up on Degrassi High. Me and my high school friends, we grew up on that TV series. And there were a couple of others on the Saturday morning on there. And then, of course, you can remember Saved by the Bell. I mean, Saved by the Bell happened to be one of the, next to Degrassi, one of the most popular teen comedy dramas that you've had out there in the marketplace. I mean, this spawned movie specials and the wedding issues, and, all these specials that they threw at the viewers on there. But that's where it should have ended. I mean, they did the college years, which was okay, but it just didn't have that magic, that gold that the original Saved by the Bell had for the amount of seasons that it ran. And Peacock decided to bring it back with some of the cast members and new cast members to see if the gold was still there. And no, it wasn't, because basically what has happened now, after after 2 seasons on there, because really nobody knew it was playing. Saved by the Bell canceled at Peacock after 2 seasons. I'm going to pull a little bit off a deadline here. It only comes after a month of the Reboot NBC Classic won an Outstanding Comedy Series at the GLAAD Media Awards, which, who cares about GLAAD anyway these days? The second season of the show dropped in November after the first season reportedly performed well for the streaming service. Really, show me the numbers. Show me
the receipts!
In this reimagined, and I love it, reimagined, made for the modern era, reimagined series, when California Governor Zach Morris gets into hot water for closing too many underfunded high schools. Oh, geez, Zach is in trouble again. He proposes to send the affected students to the most well-funded school in the state, including Bayside High. The influx of new students gives the privileged Bayside kids who have never had a problem that can't be solved in 22 minutes a much-needed dose of reality. This is what I said. Reality, you cannot, today's problems you cannot solve in 22 minutes. The new class features Belmont Cameli, sorry if I butcher any of these names, Dexter Darden, Mitchell Hoog, Elise Pascual Pena, Josie Toda, Hosky Velasquez, with Elizabeth Berkley, Lauren and Mario Lopez reprising their roles as Jesse and AC Slater. John Michael Higgins also stars as Principal Toggin. The show addressed many important topics such as race, inclusion, class, and education. There you go right there. Inclusion. You knew that they was getting put in there. It came from writer-executive producer Tracy Wigfield, with Franco Barrio and Peter Engel also executive producing for Universal Television Productions. We are so proud to have been the home for the iteration Saved by the Bell. for both the new and OG fans. Saved by the Bell has been a cultural mainstay for more than 30 years, and the new series, led by Tracy Wickfield, superfan enthusiast, and signature witty humor, seamlessly continues the show's legacy, all while allowing more audiences to feel seen. We're grateful to Tracy, Franco Barrio, and our partners at UTW, the beloved cast and fans, who have continued to champion the one most iconic shows of all time, said a Peacock spokeswoman. See, the thing about it is, and you look at what is going on there, and I bring it up again, inclusion and equity sheets that are being passed out in the writer's room. This is what the problem is. They don't understand the true nature out there of teenage problems, the true problems on there. We just lost a girl who was in that Tiara's TV series. She was 16 right now, and we lost her to suicide. I mean, this is the girl who was a meme, who became a meme on there. What happened to her after that, after that series, as she was growing up? I mean, supposedly she was still modeling and doing all that. What drove her to suicide? And this is part of a lot of things that are going on. There is a large amount of suicide rate out there that's going on that is not being addressed. There is a mental situation out there where basically there are people sick in the mind out there, that especially teens, that are not being addressed. Then of course the major situation, the major problem, the attack, the grooming, all these situations that have been going on, that have been attacking teens and children for quite some time, the disrespect of those in certain political offices that, they want to say, well, we got to have this in our classrooms. No, we do not have to have certain things taught in our classrooms, not until they are old enough to take on these subjects. And you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about out there. These are the problems that have been going on. And of course, one of the major issues out there, TikTok, the brainwashing of our children on this service. And this service does not protect children. These are things that need to be brought up. But of course, TV shows like the new Saved by the Bell are not going to bring up these subjects because they are part of the problem. These productions are part of the problem with the teenagers these days. It was a different time period, and you may say to yourself, well, they used to push toys on you and cereal, but that's advertising. The advertisers are going to always do it, and they're still doing that today. Difference is now they're throwing in politics, changing history, changing biology, changing everything they can. So basically the rights of the parents, the family, the children are taken away from them, and do not realize that this is happening. TV shows originally like Saved by the Bell from years ago, Degrassi High, and many others should be cherished. They should be looked at again. I know Degrassi High, I think they still have it on Pluto TV, but I don't think it's the original stuff. I think they need to go back to the original stuff. Remember the after school TV show they used to have on ABC that used to go in depth into problems with teens, with alcoholism, sex, and many other subjects, drugs. I mean, they had so many episodes on that took in the real problems on there. And there were many other shows on PBS, local, Saturday morning, right after the cartoons. Many things taken away from our childhood. And people don't realize what our government leaders have done in the several decades that have passed. They've taken away our childhood to our teens, and now they're trying to control our adulthood. And the way that, one of the ways they're doing it is putting out TV junk like this. A continuation. I mean, saw pieces of the Picard TV series, and that, you know, I grew up with Star Trek. It taught me a lot of things. And the thing about it is to see what they've done to it, the garbage. And this is what I say, R.I.P. Star Trek. You know, I had that video that I put together. If you haven't seen it yet, go catch it. It is just a tribute to a fantastic series created by a fantastic storyteller, by Gene Roddenberry. He brought out things that no one would want to talk about back then. And the thing about it is, he was right on target to talk about those things. Right on target. Go back and watch the original series with Shatner. Go look in depth into those episodes. Let This Be Your Last Battlefield. The one about, and I can't remember the name on it, the one about where they find a planet that's similar to the United States of America and communism, and they fell into a different direction on there. You know, they just went barbaric, and how certain things rehash similar, but misunderstood because of what happened. And this is the thing. Out there right now, people are challenging our rights and what we believe and stuff like that. We've had comedy being attacked. We saw it in the situation with Dave Chappelle on there. I talk about it last year. I warned us last year. I gave a warning that this cannot escalate. If you remember this video out that I put out, and I talked about it before, where a comedian was doing his routine and a person jumped on stage because they were offended by what he was saying. And I said, do not let this escalate. If it escalates, it's going to escalate to violence. And what happened? Will Smith escalated it by smacking Chris Rock. And all he got was a slap on the wrist. He didn't get arrested. He got temporarily put out of the Motion Picture Association. You know, this, and he still kept his Oscar. Still kept his Oscar. You know, there are plenty of people in Hollywood right now that are a detriment to the society because of the things they've done, and still they have not been punished for the sins that they've committed. And this includes the producers out there. By putting out garbage like this, like Saved by the Bell and many other TV series on there, trying to push their politics into there. You in Hollywood are here to entertain the consumer, not to preach. Remember that. Because all you've done is created a Saved by the Bell that you might as well will be forgotten, just like another series like California Dreams.